Hello everyone, welcome to the weirdest Ransom call contest. Josh has joined. Welcome Ransom trio. Before long, they found a target. Josh dialed the pastor, starting negotiations, where Charlie and Gus were. They originally wanted $100,000, but Josh just went for $200,000. Charlie and Gus were floored, thinking, there's no way they'll agree to such a ridiculous amount. Surprisingly, the pastor casually agreed, saying he'd give them the money tomorrow night. But things weren't going to be as simple as they thought. That night, the call caused a butterfly effect, leading to 7 tragic incidents. Time to execute their plan. Gus was in charge of crafting the alibi, while Charlie headed to the bar to feign an alibi. He dropped hints that Gus was at a gas station with a vertically challenged attendant. Charlie never expected to run into that vertically challenged gas station attendant at the bar. Oh no! If Gus gets caught, they'd be the main suspects in a scam. So, Charlie rushes out like a chicken with his head cut off to find Gus. But at the pastor's, he faced a gun. Gus frantically said he was there for money, but the guy just looked confused. Was this not the pastor's house? As Gus pondered this, suddenly bang. Just in time, Charlie stumbled into the house and found a body on the floor, giving him a heart-stopping scare. He assumed Gus had off the pastor and frantically dialed Josh to spill the beans. Charlie, in a rush, decided to move the body to the backyard septic bucket, then raced back to find Gus. Soon, the two met up, and Charlie grilled Gus about the dead body downstairs. To Charlie's surprise, Gus looked shocked and said he only knocked out that guy. Guess who actually performed the feature presentation? That's right, Charlie. Charlie was about to lose it, forced to clean up their mess. It was his first time dealing with such a gig. Overwhelmed, Charlie decided to turn himself in, but Gus stopped him. Then Charlie realized he left behind a business card. If the cops found it, they'd be toast. So they rushed back. In the chaos, Gus accidentally bumped into the cabinet and took it out on the furniture. Little did they know he kicked open a big secret, a pile of DVD in the cabinet, and guess what? They were snuff films. Charlie was so freaked out he started projectile vomiting, thinking they just wanted a quick payday, not this mess. Amidst the chaos, Charlie suggested calling the cops, since the killer on the tape looked very nastily sinister. Though the killer wore a mask, Charlie suspected the pastor was a big-time creep. Gus shot back, how do we explain being here? The detective interjected, this isn't a simple accident at all. They later found the pastor's body riddled with 3 bullets by the edge of the forest. Chalk painted Charlie's face. Finding no leads, the detective prepared to leave, but noticed drag marks in the backyard just then. They wanted a quick scam, but it turned deadly. Things were spiraling out of control. Charlie felt a breakdown looming, so sought the detective, only to see a body behind him. This was bad. He was now forced to search again. This was getting too complicated. Charlie was on the verge of a breakdown and finally decided to turn himself in, where he didn't actually want to get caught. To his surprise, Gus pulled out a gun and threatened him. Charlie thought Gus wouldn't shoot him, and he was right. But just after stepping outside, he returned. But this time, he brought back a woman with a gun who claimed to be the pastor's wife, announcing she was a killer. She said she snapped after years of putting up with the pastor's creepy behavior and set up a trap. Apparently, these tapes they discovered had the pastor involved in the filming. She teamed up with a guy named Musk and planned to deal with the pastor tonight. This woman didn't plan on letting anyone leave alive. But when she got home, she found Charlie and the gang already barging in. Thinking they had taken the pastor's $2 million, she threatened them. Charlie and Gus looked utterly confused. They hadn't seen a dime. Ignoring their explanations, the woman grew furious and was ready to take action. Then, by pure chance, Josh arrived only to cap the pastor's wife right there. The trio decided they couldn't turn back now, but the detective advised them to turn themselves in. Plus, they heard about the pastor's wife's $2 million cash stash. They could start a new life. Charlie insisted on going to the police, saying he didn't want to share the money. He couldn't abandon his wife and daughter. Josh piped up. After all, he's the only one who can prove our innocence. We should definitely use that. Suddenly, a cry for help came from outside. It turned out the detective had slipped out when they weren't watching. Noticing this, the group rushed out to drag the detective back. But the detective insisted he had to use the restroom, and the group reluctantly let him go.